Hello and good morning, wherever you are right around the world. It's great to have Test cricket back, baby. New Zealand won the toss against England, and they've scored 3 for 246 because it's 1997 all over again. Devon Conway had the dream debut, 136 of your cricket runs with a red ink. Henry Nicholls will resume his innings tomorrow and 46 not out. That's all we have time for today. My name's Ian Higgins. Sam Perry sits across from me and I hear him. Pez, did you enjoy having the cricket back?
Mate, I enjoy being back here, doing this. I love this format.
Yes.
And I enjoyed the cricket being back, baby.
Okay.
And we were welcome to a different scene to that which we've been used to this year.
Yeah.
Let me explain.
Please.
It was Lords.
Yes, Lords.
Lords.
Bradman.
It was Lords.
Yes.
It was sun. It was slopes.
Yeah.
It was blazes.
Ooh, yeah.
People in the ground. Egg and bacon ties.
Now we're talking.
Everything about the atmosphere was gentle and genteel.
Yes.
That was what greeted the eyes. It calmed my brain. Very different to the fucking fiery depths of hell of a metabag, which I loved.
At Modi
cobras.
Stadium.
Ha, ha, ha. And I love that cricket.
Yeah.
This calmed my brain. And that gentle and genteel atmosphere actually extended to the game. New Zealand was confronted with a beige wicket. I wouldn't say it was gentle bowling, but there wasn't much doing. And they strolled their way to 246 for 3.
That's right. Now, can you put the day's cricket to me in grade terms?
Of course I can.
Please.
Pretty flat.
It's the side mouth for me.
Cash in after tea. Delete your tweets.
Probably delete the tweets.
Just don't post.
Probably don't post them. Yeah, it was a bit like that, wasn't it? I mean, I just liked seeing Lords again. It's just familiarity. It's the homeland, of course, for the Anglos of this world. And it was just the dappled light across Lords in that final session. Anderson and Broad opening the bowling, familiarity.
Oh, yeah.
The verdant pastures of Lords and St John's Wood, egg and bacon ties and socks, funny socks.
Yeah.
Posh clapping in the in the outer.
The day took a turn in the afternoon because Ollie Robinson's tweets got dug up.
Yeah,
and it made when you talk about old blokes in the stands, I just think if they had Twitter back then, what would their fucking tweets have been?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, some dark
I don't mean that as a mitigating thing about Ollie Robinson,
Sure.
which we'll get to.
Sure.
But gee, there would have been some posts back in the day, I'll give you the tip.
It's just nice to see Lords again. I mean, that was the first test since 2019 where we saw the raucous environment, that Smith and Warner had to come into, walking down the long room, just blokes going, quite an intimidating atmosphere. And it was similar in the 7,500 fans packed into Lords. They packed into Lords 25% capacity. Doesn't make any sense. But it was nice to see cricket back just generally.
It was. And for the viewers out there, the eagle-eyed viewers out there, the eagle-brain viewers, that is our first point. Of the three things we'll be talking about. Yeah. Cricket is back, baby. Lords was providing what it was providing. I enjoyed the way it calmed my brain. It was gentle and it helped New Zealand. Are England gentle altogether? Are the knives out already?
Oh, yeah.
Day one of a 7-test summer.
Yeah.
We writing them off?
In spring? Yeah.
Would have thought so. Yep. All right. With that in mind, here goes. Second thing that I'm bringing is about Devon Conway. Devon Conway has lived the dream. Now, Devon Conway is not to be mixed up with Jeff Conway, who played Kaniki in Greece. Yep. And a lot of people forget that Grease Lightning is actually about Kaniki's car. Kaniki's car was Grease Lightning, not Danny Zuko's, not John Travolta.
That's right.
He just stepped in because Kaniki bumped his head. HIA stuff.
Not to be confused with Harry Conway or Harry Connick Jr.
Exactly.
These are all
the Venn diagram of Conways.
That's right.
I've got a good question about Devon Conway later, but Dev lived the dream today, man.
Dev, yeah, we call him Dev.
How'd you go, Dev?
Yeah.
Mate, I made my test debut.
Mate.
I made my test debut. I finished there on 136 not out, so I've scored a debut test ton. Where'd you play? Oh, at Lords. How'd you bring it up? I flicked a bloke over square leg off me pads with a full flourish off me pads. That's how he talks.
I flicked the racist over square. bit harsh, but
win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
In the posting game,
Yeah.
and he's got a great New Zealand style beard. We know it's an adopted homeland for
Yeah,
him.
that's
He's
right,
already
that's
adopted
right.
some New Zealand
That's right.
affect
Yes.
when he brought up his 100.
Yeah, that's
it was
right.
a very gentle,
It was just polite. It was just nice.
Is
it
he
was
doing
just
some
very,
skeleton stuff now?
Well, it has to be because now the Kiwis in their lineup they've got Neil Wagner, friend of the show, obviously brought up in South Africa now. Repatriated. Thank you. In New Zealand, then you got Colin as well with his lion's mane. We need to speak about that. That's my main takeoff from Devon Conway's innings. Colin de Grandhomme's hair. It's a lion's. He's from Zimbabwe, Colin. So they've got a great like Afrikaan influence into that side. But despite that, you think of like the sort of abrasive nature that like when Australia and South Africa play, or Zimbabwe back in the day, maybe I don't really remember. It was sort of in
Titanic
your face.
Battles.
Rara against Heath Streak and Henry Alonga and the Flower Brothers.
It's like naming every Zimbabwe.
Exactly, yeah. Paul Strang. But in the New Zealand setup, it's all very nice. It's just play the cricket the right way.
They speak in a different language, he goes.
Different language.
Right? I read some shit on LinkedIn this morning.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. As is my want.
Yes.
Need.
Look over there for need. Need.
Click any app that's available that might have a message for me. Yeah. Anyways, different issue. And I saw some shit on LinkedIn.
That is a different issue.
With a quote from their Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, saying that all through her life, and I'll paraphrase the shit out of this.
Please, yeah.
All through her life, she's been told by people that she's too weak, she's not strong enough, she's not aggressive enough.
Right.
And she says, I demand that be reconsidered because having empathy is the ultimate sign of strength. Or some shit. And I'm like, what's this language?
What the fuck's that? That sounds weak to me.
Fucking wingdings.
Yeah.
For me. Turns out she's almost as tall as Scott Morrison.
Yeah.
Presidential as anything. I mean, I feel something. I'm not sure if it's love.
Yeah.
Or
fear.
Fine line. And that's what happens to New Zealand. It doesn't matter where you're from. You can be from South Africa, grow up there or whatever. You go to New Zealand, you become a really lovely person who plays cricket in the right way.
Yeah.
You play the basics well. You stroll your way to 246 for 3. All of a sudden, you're having fun. You're toying with a team playing their B-side, which we'll get to as well.
I don't trust it, though. I don't trust it.
There's skeletons
now,
all over the joint.
What I saw in the dressing room, on the balcony, Law's balcony, famous Law's balcony, Pez, we saw Devon Conway just politely just say, thank you for the applause. I accept them. Thank you for receiving them.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying.
Very civil.
It's about giving and receiving.
Yeah.
And then I saw Kyle Jamieson at the back of the Lord's balcony just looking fucking magnificent, like he's made in a fucking lab. He's Ivan Drago.
This is what I want to say, right? So at the start of the day, you could still even hear in the intonation of the commentators to not underestimate New Zealand.
Them.
They've got a pretty good team. Yeah. It's like, guys, are you not watching?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's still a little condescension in it. It's like, oh, these guys can actually play. What they really mean is you're not in the top 3 big boys of Test Nation, so we don't see you play.
That's right.
But I'm seeing New Zealand come together into something greater than the sum of their parts. In the past, you would say New Zealand played good, hard, solid cricket. Yeah, they'll give you a game, but ultimately it's threes.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a bit of three stuff. You wouldn't get past second grade at my club championship and all that sort of stuff, which is my problem. But now there's some identity there.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but when I see Kyle Jamieson, there's something altogether. There's like a Jock Dawson Leary about it. Do you know what I mean? No. Or do I just have blonde hair?
Yeah.
No, it's just like if Dawson Leary... I could see Kyle Jamieson walk around the OC.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's playing in the high school football team.
Yeah,
but he's also
that.
Dawson Leary.
Yeah, okay.
All right?
I see that there. I see that now.
Colin de Grandhomme, there's so much he brings to the table identity-wise. Did you know that de Grandhomme is French? You translate the French to the great man. De Grandhomme.
Is that real?
The great man. I spoke to someone who could translate French for me. I could actually.
So literally, he's the person when people walk into bars and they say, here's the great man. It's actually Colin de Grandhomme.
Seriously,
we found him.
So this guy I spoke to last night, he conferred with his translator, aka his mum. He said de Grandhomme would literally mean of the great man, but in English it would be like a title implying nobility. Hom Grand is a big man. Grandhomme is great man. Whatever it is, it's pretty fucking good.
Colin de Great Man.
Yeah. He's a hype man. He hasn't done anything in this game already, but he's already making an impression.
You can't tell me that they didn't have an impact at the toss when they saw those pre-game photos, the 4 blocked photos of Colin de Grandhomme, Colin de Great Man. They were thinking, shit, we're in for a battle here. We should have played our full-strength side.
So
we didn't.
So Conway hits 100 on debut, carries his bat for the day, 136 not out, whippage off the legs to bring up his 100. He had Kane Williamson coming in at 3. Now he failed. You had Kane coming in at 3. Lovely beard, gentle. I mean, he was still so alpha that his hands were too soft, accounting for his dismissal.
Well, did you see that in the post-match comments, Kane has said to Conway, now you know what it's like, bro. So there's a fucking little alpha there, isn't
there?
There's
a level. Well,
there's a level. There's got to be a level. He can't be top 4 big boys without him a level. You kidding me? He's got a little level. He's just letting him know, just like, well batted today. This is fucking my team, cunt. Settle down.
Big series for Kane.
Big series for Kane.
He doesn't get on the big stage against big boys too often as a big boy himself.
That's right. He's got three. He
failed against Australia last time out.
Big time.
Big series for him.
Yeah.
Not really. He probably just wants to do well in the World Test
He
Championship.
probably just wants the team to play really well and play good cricket, and if they win, that's good for them.
New Zealand were assured. It was a grade cricket day. They kept wickets in hand, and then they cashed in after tea. 102 runs in the final session against a flagging England side.
They look tired,
leg sore and foot weary. I think Mike Atherton described them as
in a poem.
And so for my third thing, he goes,
please.
England went for pace. They picked 4 quicks and eschewed Jack Leach, their spinner, or Dom Bess, whatever. Yeah. So 4 quicks, no Stokes, and you got Joe Root bowling into the middle of the day with a sweeper.
Mate.
No variety, no change of pace, no new challenge for the bat, 2 set batsmen, and you can't give them something different to deal with. I mean... you got a couple of old guys who were threatening enough at the start of the day, but it was a beige wicket. It was flat as fuck, really.
Yeah.
Mate, New Zealand were 50 for none at the start of 14 overs. They were 1 for 85 for 1, whatever, at lunch.
Yeah.
That's a great start.
Yeah.
Like that they don't really posing too many problems.
No.
And so you get into the second session, Roots bowling with a sweeper.
Yep.
Woods coming in and bowling explosively, bowled real quick. We'll talk about that in a second. But like, you've got to be able to provide some variety there. And it's got a real vibe to me of like, let's give a couple blokes a game for some other series we want to play later.
Fucking doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so like Root by the 50th over had bowled 5 overs already. So like already then they've said like, oh, we've made a mistake here. They did the fucking same thing in the India series, mate. It's spring. It's the first day of the first test of a 7-test summer for them. Gotta say... and I'll change my opinion tomorrow when England are winning by several wickets. They're winning by several wickets. It's my first time watching cricket. And Colin de Grand, man.
It's of the great man, title of nobility.
But, mate, there's a chance with England. Mate, what if they lose this series? What if they lose this series against New Zealand? What if they lose to India? Then they've got to go to the Ashes. And what if they lose there? Then what was the point of fucking all of this?
Wood got a game.
Yeah.
Wood bowled an over that was the quickest since records began in 2006.
Good.
So he's quick.
He's none for. Quick butt.
Going at 60 apiece.
Mate, I don't get it. I don't get it. Last summer they were like Broad and Anderson won't play together. Now it's like it's flipped around. They've changed their direction again. They look like a fucking lost team. I look at that lineup that England put out today, and I was like, I don't know what it is. No spinner, same pace attack, no all-rounder. Okay, Root's bowling in the middle of the day. He's bowled 12 overs after day 1. Broad and Anderson, 1 wicket between them, 40 overs between them as well. What are we doing here, guys? What's England doing? What are they playing at?
A couple of guys cooling their jets due to quarantine and stuff like that.
Of course.
You bring back a few big boys like Archer, Stokes, Bairstow, and I'll include Bairstow.
Oh, he'll
because there's
enjoy
a
that.
lot of presence within that. But yeah, it was strange. Wood bowled his quick over. Dave Tickner online noted that yes, Wood was bowling 95 mile an hour. Also said that Anderson was bowling 88 mile an hour. So where are we on the speed gun there?
Yeah. Do you remember that time? I think it was at the Wacker when Mitchell Stark bowled an over of 145k now. Then he bowled 1 ball of 161 to Ross Taylor.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen this before. Sometimes when you're struggling for marketing angles, all you need is a speed gun just to give something a bit off, just an over. And now we've got something to talk about.
Now, I'm not anti-technology, anti-vax, sure.
Ooh, okay. That's a deal breaker.
This can no longer work.
That's right. Well, there goes the comedic charisma. There we go.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, doesn't add up. Doesn't add up.
Ollie Robinson made his debut. He was their pick, 2 for 50 from 16 overs.
Oh, well.
Big guy, into the wicket. First few spells were good. Flagged later in the day.
Sure.
Foot worry, leg sore. And then got off the field and they'd found his old tweets.
That would have been good.
So let's go into hashtag AskTGC. John Paul Shanahan writes, you've probably seen this already, but Kent's Ollie Robinson, different Ollie Robinson.
Different Ollie Robinson.
Ollie Robinson has, and you got to enunciate the Kent right because that could go the other way. But in fact, on his Year 12 jersey, and one of my mates wanted to have Kent on the back. Has been getting fried. Yeah, he's got problems, but he's been getting fried because of the social media posts of Sussex's Ollie Robinson. So for those catching up, Ollie Robinson wrote some racist and sexist posts 8 to 10 years ago when he was a teenager, for context, and they surfaced yesterday on his debut, causing him to issue a written, or read out a written pre-prepared apology.
Isn't part of the insidious nature of this is that someone's had that for a while? Someone's had that for a while, then is like, I'm going to release them to the fucking wild or whatever. There's a moment he comes on for his spell. Like, that's the insidious nature of it. Now, like, I can hold two things at once, Pez, where, like, racism, sexism, bad. This seems fucking silly. He was a child 10 years ago. It's very like Kevin Hart when he was going to host the Oscars and they dug up. He posted some homophobic tweets a while ago. He already apologized for them, etc. This is in the same bracket. I can have sympathy for him in this moment. He's apologized. That's good. Racism, sexism, bad. Both things can be true.
Andy Bull wrote a great piece, and I thought he nailed it when he said you can both have sympathy and scorn.
Yes,
for Ollie Robinson, and
that's a better way to put it.
I think with these issues, you can shine a light on the strangeness of people digging it up at that time. That's one thing. You can also shine a light on the fact that they were all wearing T-shirts before the game saying, with anti-racist messages, but this still exists. I mean, he's definitely fucked up. It's revealed something that's pretty shameful. He apologised for it as well. I'm not saying necessarily move on. It just adds to the story.
Yeah, sure.
And the truth of how things are. But I do think that there does seem to be a sentiment out there of like, okay, he has apologised. Yeah. And but you can't ignore either.
The answer isn't, don't dig up his old stuff.
That's right.
The answer is don't be racist. That's the answer.
The answer is educate yourself.
Yes.
I just noted Ali Martin from The Guardian, he goes, had written, having earlier bowled Latham off the inside edge for 23 and pinned Ross Taylor LBW for 15 after a succession of in-swingers, Robinson has started to flag a touch by this stage. And off the field, unbeknownst to him, a number of racist and sexist tweets he had written as a teenager back in 2012 had begun to circulate online. I just thought, that's the most 2021 phenomenon of all time.
Fucking hell, yeah.
You know? Like, how'd you go today? I made my debut at Lord's and they found my old tweets.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think about Bradman and boat tours, all that sort of stuff. I don't know why. Just would never that just would not make sense to like Neil Harvey.
Yeah.
Another final last TTC. He goes Simon Hugh. Actually, no, we're going to go with another one that came in.
Okay.
Sorry, Simon. This is better than that. We'll get back to yours later.
Huey.
Matt Wesley writes in, just want and need your thoughts on what sized boy Devon Conway is after his debut 100. So.
Well, Pez, one of the great moments, one of the great questions that we pose is, when is cricket good? That's when cricket's good. Debut, Lords, fucking flick one off your pads, go to 100. Doesn't get any better than that. So, like, he may as well retire because that's the game. But now, if New Zealand loses Test match, see you later. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah,
forget about it.
I think what Matt's getting at though is like. Matt may be suggesting, is he a big boy? No. Settle down,
come on, Matt.
Christ,
cool your jets.
Cool your jets. Yeah. Keep it in your pants, figuratively speaking. Okay, but it is interesting. It's like, I don't know, I can't think of anything other than like football teams that just bring in a great player out of nowhere, like in the summer transfer window. United bring in Fernandez, changes their side. Like New Zealand have just got this guy. He's just bang. He's a Test class opening bat. He's like,
can you open the batting in England?
75 in South African first class cricket for the last 5 years. Like, can this guy play? Bang, 100 on debut. How much does that improve their side? If you're Indian, you're watching that, okay, they've got another bat now.
Yeah.
Not developed or anything like that, mate. He's ready to go. Off the shelf, ready. The product is ready and mature. Bang, 100 in England. Broad Anderson, Lords. Okay, not bad.
If I'm India, I'm thinking, well, which one of our 8 openers should we pick?
There's a lineage of South African players who've emigrated elsewhere. We talk about India being able to field 3 teams, so we should do that for South Africa as well. Our number 3's originated there as well. Michael Neser as well. They're kitting around.
Yeah, is Peterson still playing? Don't know. He's doing something in the gym. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube right here, or Patreon for the exclusive audio as well, patreon.com/Great Cricket. We'll be back tomorrow morning for day 2 of this Test series when New Zealand will bury England into the turf, or not. Something else will happen. See you tomorrow.